Good day everyone. I am by Queen Farhana F. Uyag from Brother Anacleto Luis. Today, I'm here to interview my mother and my aunt for some questions. This is my first question for my aunt. What is one core belief in your religion? What is its relevance to your daily life?
you know I believe every religion has its own belief. In my case, my core of belief is that a sunset to sunset worship, which means starting Friday sunset to Saturday sunset, it is the time where work is done and other business close. A time that we can give to our Creator a rest day by worshiping with Him. This kind of practice is such a blessing for me. It teaches me how to conscious in my time and actions. Being more thinker, what to speak, because as we can see, we constantly change without our knowing, because I believe that was came from our own belief and religion. If there is no assurance, whatever religion we had, it is our own faith who can save us. Lastly, many practices are the core of my religion being Christian, not only what I mentioned above. This practice made me to have a mindset that no one is superior or higher than as all of us are the same, whether you are Christian, Muslim, or Buddhist. Understanding and respect are the key for us to show the reflection of what we are believing. Buddhist. Understanding and respect are the key for us to show the reflection of what we are believing.
What is the highest form of worship in your religion? Why is considered so?
This question was thrilling for me. Honestly, I considered all the form of worship in my religion equal, but if I should tell what is the most highest form based on what I've learned from our elders and pastors, that would be during divine worship. This time where the parents should intact their kids beside them after their Sabbath school, because divine worship is the most significant time for everybody. Pastors and leaders are the primary participants of this program because they are the one who are knowing about spiritual growth, because it is their field. It is the time where everybody are being attentive because of the sermons that can give us inspiration to work harder for our faith. A stories from the Bible that we never heard since then. As a result of this, I could say that we can't tell what is the highest form of worship. If all these practices and any kind of worship are being inside in our heart, something like if we just try to worship heartily from a long period of time, we would not be matter, because all matters will be the faith that growing in us and the Holy Spirit that teaches us to love, listen, and apply practices help us grow wonderfully.
This is my second question for my mother. Name one important law observed by a follower of your religion. What does it bring about in the individual and community?
One important law being observed in Islam is Sharia law. Sharia law acts as code of living all Muslims should adhere to, including prayers, fasting, and donations to the poor. It aims to help Muslims understand how they should lead aspect their lives according to God's wishes.
Identify one story or myth from the community of believers lead from your religion's sacred writings. What truth does it convey about life or relationship?
Indeed, Surah Yusuf is one of the complete and tightly knit chapters in Quran. It is referred to literally and historical texts of various genres, including books of advice, mirrors of princes, and tales of prophets. It has inspired erotic mystical love, poetry in Persian, Turkish, and Arabic. It constitutes one of the most narrated popular tales of oral tradition. It continues to the present day to be a centrally important narrative in Islamic cultures. In particular, as contributes first to the construction of category women with guile, viewed as essential female characteristic, and second to the nation of the group omnipotence and uncontrollability of female heterosexual desire that poses men as its object and its target intrigue. In the following pages, we examine the story of Yusuf and some of discussion surrounding in the Islamic tradition. In particular, we focus on the figure of Zuleika as the female protagonist in a story usually called, and on how the role interpreted by a variety of commentators and theologians. We will argue that the description of female sexuality in each interpretation, as embodied by Zuleika, is related to the narrative logic of larger story in the interpretation. The variation, however, are predominantly male-centered. We are therefore skeptical about the possibility of appropriating and reinterpreting the story of its present variation and emancipatory narrative for female sexual liberation within Islamic tradition, as some 20th century critics have attempted to do. Some important works has already been done on Zuleika and her significance to the understanding of women's role in Islamic society.
So that's all. Thank you and stay safe and God bless.